One thing you'll notice on the great young major swings is a tremendous weight transfer and hip and shoulder rotation. This maximizes the power the body is able to generate through rotational mechanics, and since there's no drifting forward of the upper body once the rotation starts, the consistency of hitting the top or bottom half of the ball is efficient and very impressive. Today at Truman Stadium, we want to help you develop a focus and a drill that'll help you regain and retain the power and explosiveness of your hip rotation. Off-season layoffs, age, and injury can quickly diminish the ability you have to retain a good body angle and explode your hips where you need to in order to make them efficient and powerful. I find that as we age, hitters forget what it's like to swing explosively. They forget what it's like to swing hard. That's why we have to really work on getting our swing up to 90% of as fast as we can explode. We have to learn to be explosive again. And instead of just focusing 50% on that, we have to take all our mental focus and say that 80% of our swing will be explode the hips open. Victor, what's amazing to me is you've reached 55 and really hitting your peak. You were the senior champion in the home run derby here, and then at the young guys here this spring you won the base hit contest. At 25 you could maybe just let your hips happen naturally, but as seniors get older they forget what it's like to be explosive. And how much effort do you have to put into your hip process now, thought process?
You got to think about it all the time. That's the first thing you want to think about it. I'm thinking about when I'm getting up to bat is, okay, I want to make sure that my hips are getting thrown out and are in sync with my upper body.
You have to give them 100% of all you have just to make them work right.
At least 100, 110%. You got to concentrate on the hips and throw them hips out.
What percent effort is that, Vic?
That's probably about 50.
And they all look about the same. Let's get up to about 75%. Finally, with everything you have.
Everything you have, yep.
The diagonal torque drill is just a phenomenal drill because it takes a progression of drills we've used from the start. Way back in the 1990s, we did the bat on the hip drill. Putting it here, getting the ba, and then the boom. It helped us to isolate the hips and really get a good feeling of how the hips work in the rotation. Next evolution we made was putting the bat behind the back. A lot of fast pitch programs use that. We put it behind our forearms. This way we get a little bit of back arc into it. It feels like your back and shoulders will stay in better sync with the hips. Boom. It's a great drill, and I actually like it better than the bat on the hip drill. To develop more of a shoulder sync with the hip sync, we developed the rotational trainer a couple years ago on the show. I like that because it tied your hips and shoulders together. It felt like your body was all one unit. The tighter you held it, the more you felt like you're a solid unit, and you could rotate in the same sync and the same speed. One of the lessons I did last winter was working with 7-year-old Doc Harrison. And Doc Harrison had a tendency at 70 years old, being a bigger guy, and losing the ability he had to rotate as a youngster and letting the upper body chase ahead. He started his rotation, but then much like myself, he let the upper body drift ahead and the front shoulder would dive down. As soon as you did that, the rotation would shut down and just become an upper body swing. We tried the bat on the hip drill, the bat behind the back, and the rotational trainer. Didn't bring a lot of success to Doc. Finally, I realized that we could develop a diagonal torque drill. And we take the bat, we put it underneath our lead arm. I put it right up as far as I can go. In the back side, you can see I'm pushing against the barrel of the bat. This way, we develop a diagonal torque across the body. The front shoulder is being leveraged back. This is just like a pry bar, and we push the rear head around. And this is a phenomenal drill. Boom. It really gives you the ability to open up your shoulders, get a little bit of a body tilt on the lower pitches. And Doc Trent, myself, and other seniors and people who have had age and injury have really responded well to it.
Just, you know, the pushing the shoulder back and throwing the hip into it, and it helps you drag your foot and step into the power.
So that's a torque drill. You're developing the torque across here, and you with the bulging disc.
Right.
How's that feel?
Yeah, it felt okay.
And you said your therapy guys got you doing something.
Yeah, I've been doing
like
the same thing with the with a little skinny pole and a rod, and it's probably about 6 foot long, the rod I use, so I can move my arms up and down it more to spread my shoulders out.
Has that been since you have the bulging disc?
Since this, yeah.
All right, as always, you're one step ahead of me.
Hey, oh no, man, not me. I'm just catching up.
People ask me all the time, Bear, what would you rather swing? The new breed DeMarini U-Trip model or the ASA Flipper Aftermath? You know, a gentleman never swings and tells.
What's up, softball world? Evil One coming at you. Hey, today I just want to do a quick thing about the Evil BP Rocket. This is our most popular BP ball. It's been out since 2009. We sold literally 100,000 of these balls. This ball is virtually indestructible, 2-color, water-resistant cover. Spin shows you how you've hit the ball. Perfect core and compression. Best used 50 to 70 degrees and above. This ball will last forever. I would not recommend hitting it indoor in cages because the cover can get damaged from hitting the screens, but outdoor, you're not going to have more fun than hitting the Evil BP Rocket from Evil Sports.